My name's Denise McCabe and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia on the New South Wales Central Coast, and this is my Makeup Monday for this week. Today I'm going to do a fancy fold card that I saw a demonstrator in America, Susan Campfield, do, and I really wanted to have a play and a go at it. She called it a vertical freestanding fancy fold. That's what she called it. So I had a couple of plays with the textured chic suite because I hadn't played much with that. So it looks like that, and it does fold flat and sit in it goes in a standard envelope. So, and that's where you write in there, and it stands up on your sideboard. So in the textured chic suite of products, there are some papers with the snowflakes, and in the dies you've got the snowflake dies. And I know we don't have snowflakes in Australia, but you know, it's winter here at the moment, so why not use snowflakes? So that was one that I played with. That was my first practice one. And then my next one, I used the same suite of products, but just different paper. Okay, and that sentiment is from the Brightest Glow, the Lights Aglow bundle with that double stamp set. So that's what we're going to make today, and I'm going to use that Lights Aglow bundle because I really like it. So just bear with me. I'll put my phone up into the holder and we'll get started. Okay. So here's the card standing up. So it stands up quite well and it lies flat to go in an envelope. So I just really like my fancy folds. So that's what we're going to recreate. And the whole card you can get out of one sheet of cardstock, A4 cardstock. And you only have these little pieces left over from one sheet of A4. So I like it when it uses most of the A4. I think that's really good. So I have got all my pieces cut up, and I will, when I post this to my blog, I will put all the card measurements up for you. So they are in inches. So let me just place them out. There's quite a few bits and pieces here. So this is the card. I'm calling it the card base. It's 8 inches by 5.5, and it's scored at 1.5, 2 3/4, 5 1/4, and 6 1/2. This is the card back, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is the card front. So that's the back piece. This is the bit with the scoring, and then this is the front piece, and it's 3 1/2 by 5 1/2. I've then cut a piece to go on my front in cherry cobbler, 3 1/4 by 5 1/4, and a piece of the Lights Aglow DSP, is that what it's called? Yes, Lights Aglow Specialty DSP, 3 inches by 5 inches. I have cut, I've got to work this out, on my card back you have, so those two are there. You have 2 pieces of DSP, 3 1/4 by, no, 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4. There we go. So those 2 pieces. And then for your foldy part, you've got 2 pieces. Let me think. I've just got to think. No, they go there and there. So those 2 pieces are 1 inch by 5 1/4, and this one is 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. As I said, I'll put all the dimensions up on my blog post. So let's get started by layering some things together. So we'll start with our back piece, and I'll get my glue, and I'll get my 2, whoops, I'll get my 2 strips. So these 2 strips are 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4. And I'll get a tissue because no doubt I will have glue spillage squirting out. And you just place these ones down on your side of your card, just using a minimal border. And I've used thick, very vanilla cardstock. That was one of the colours that went with this paper. So we're going to do a little bit of stamping and heat embossing, but we'll just get our card together. So just up and mop up any glue that squirts out. Okay, I'll make sure that's all in view. Oh yes, that's in view. Good. So that's what you've done to your card base. So let's bring in our foldy bit. So we need the 1 1/4 pieces and the 5. Oh, there's only one. This right, there's only one piece this size. Let me just double check. Yes, let's put our sample here. So we'll get rid of our card base. So these smaller strips are 1 inch by 5 1/4, and they go on these inner folds. So let's put those on first. So that's that one. This paper is so beautiful. It's in from the new mini catalogue, the June to December, July to December. I'll get it right in a minute. You can tell I'm all over the shop. And this one is 1 piece of DSP, and it's 1 1/4 by 5 1/4, and that will go there. So let's pop that one on. Don't have to use glue. I just prefer the glue because I can wiggle it into place. You can use whatever adhesive you prefer. There we go. Let's just let that have a little bit of a rest and a dry. I'll get rid of my post-it notes. As I said, when I post it to my blog, I will put up the dimensions. So that's that. I'll just let that get its act together. And that one. Now I'll bring in my card front, and we're going to layer our pieces because we are going to stamp and die cut a tree out and put it on the front of this. So we can layer all our bits together. Once you've got your card cut out, it goes together quite well, quite easily. She says. We haven't got it together yet. So I love the inspiration that you can get from other demonstrators all over the world. And as I said, this one was from Susan Campfield in Minnesota, I think it is, in America. I think that's where she's from. Okay, so that's our card front together. So I'll put my lid back on. So if anybody wants to order from me during the month of July, if you like to use this host code, that would be great. It gives me ways of buying little gifts for when I do classes and stuff. So, okay, so this one needs to be folded. So if we get our sample card up, we can work it out. This one goes back, and I shall get my bone folder. And give that a good crease. And this one goes forward. So mountain and valley folds they are. And this one goes back. Had to think. And this one comes forward. Okay, so that's starting to look like a sample card. So what you need to do is put glue on the back of this part and then line it up on your back, and it will go to the top and to the bottom because it's the same width, 5 1/2, I'm pretty sure, yes. So we shall do that. So if we get our card constructed, then we can do our stamping and heat embossing. So we just need to keep our paper straight, line it up to the top and move it over, wiggle it across. I hope my head's not coming in. There we go. But make sure it's flush on the bottom. If it's a little bit over at the top, doesn't matter, as long as it's flush on the bottom so it can stand up. And just press that down. If you really wanted to, you could go ahead and decorate in here with DSP, but I'm not going to bother. So there's that part all done. So then you get your front piece and you line that up together. So it's kind of like a gatefold card. And this piece is going to go centered. I only put glue on this panel and it's going to go centered on the card front so that when it lies flat, you've got even amount on either side. So let's do that now. Oh, there's enough. So I do this bit lying down, like for flat on the desk, because that's the way I found it was easiest. And once again, butt it up to the edge of the base and just wiggle it into place so that you've got the same amount on either side. Can you see that? And just press it down if you're using glue, and then it opens like so. So once you've got it all cut, it comes together quite quickly. So as I said, you could decorate inside here. I haven't on this one. This sort of gets to a point where maybe there's too much decoration with designer series paper. But if you wanted to, you can. Now on this one, I've put a piece of white paper, white cardstock inside, because that's where we would write. But being that I'm using very vanilla, I don't need to put a piece in. It's already okay. So that's our card base all constructed. So let me put my glue lid back on. And this is what I've got for stamping of my tree. So we're going to use this beautiful tree, and I'm going to stamp it in Versamark, and I'm going to then heat emboss it with gold embossing powder. And you know what? I should have got my all my heating stuff out, but I didn't. So I will have to get that out. So bear with me, and then we'll do this beautiful Merry Christmas. So I'll get that block out as well. So just bear with me while I grab my embossing powder and my heat stuff. Okay, so I've got my embossing stuff here, and I just wanted to let you know that if you hadn't noticed in the mini catalogue, on page 49, they've got an embossing additions toolkit. Now, demonstrators have been asking for ages to bring back the embossing buddy, which they have, but they've also brought back this mini tray for your embossing powder, a brush to brush any excess off, and reverse tweezers with like silicone ends so that you can hold things when you heat embossing. So that's on page 49 in the mini catalogue. It's great to have that back in our catalogues. So I just wanted to point that one out. Okay, so let's just get our stamp. So I'm going to use the tree. So the Lights Aglow suite of products is also in this catalogue. Let me find it. Not that one. This one. It's a double suite with 2 stamp sets and dies. Beautiful ribbon, festive pearls, glimmer paper, festive foils, and the Lights Aglow 6x6 specialty paper. Love the whole suite. Got the lot. So we're going to stamp this tree and heat emboss it with gold. So it's a red rubber stamp set, a cling stamp set. make sure I've got that on my block nice and straight. Got my Versamark here, and before we do anything, we're going to use our little embossing buddy. So this just gets any static off your cardstock, and it stops, so it's got like talcum powder in it. It stops any embossing powder sticking where it shouldn't, because you don't want it stuck where you don't want it. So I'm just inking this up in Versamark. Versamark is a clear, sticky stamp pad. I need a new one, I think. And because I'm going to die cut it out, it doesn't really matter where I put it on my cardstock. So I just press down really hard. And I also want to heat emboss the sentiment. But let's just get this one done first. So I'm going to bring my little tray in. And it's got a little screw stopper here at the end, which is great. So you can pour it back into your little jar. So just pop that there. And this is my gold embossing powder. The embossing powders are in the annual catalogue, and they're grouped together. You've got metallics, so I think it's gold, silver, and I'm not sure. I have to look it up. Copper, and they come in a pack of 3. And then you've got your clear, your white, and I'm not sure what the other one is. Clear, white, copper, and black. That's right, black. So just give it a bit of a flick. Make sure you've covered everywhere where you want. If you think you've missed a bit, just do a little bit more over the top. And once you've got your embossing powder on, that's okay. You can just sit it there, and you can pour your powder back into its little jar. So undo this, and then you just pour it back in. And that's another use for the brush. Just get it all back into your jar. And I believe this is a lot smaller than what they used to have. And also the stopper, being a screw cap stopper, is better than the last one that they used to have. So much easier to use. So you just set that to one side, put your lid back on so you don't have any mishaps. I'll put that there. And I'll bring my heat tool in, and I'll just turn the sound down so you don't get blasted with the heat tool noise. I love heat embossing. Can you see how that's come up all shiny? It's still got a bit of the powder, but we can just brush that off now from the embossing buddy. So we're going to die cut that out and put it on the front. And I'm just wondering what to use, whether to put the sentiment. I don't want to use this one. There's a spare one because it's green. It's Evening Evergreen. But I do want to put that down here, and I don't know whether to do it in cream or the burgundy, in vanilla. I think I might do it in vanilla with the cherry cobbler. That's my puppy, with the cherry cobbler ink. That's what I think I'll do, rather than embossing the sentiment as well. So I shall put that there. And before we bring in our cut emboss machine, I'll just stamp this on some vanilla cardstock. Rosie, do you have to bark when I'm doing a video? And we shall bring our cherry cobbler in, ink. Now this is the die we're going, so these are the 2 die sets from the beautiful double suite. So I haven't played with all of them yet. My work is getting in the way. How rude. So we will use this one from the sentiment dies that goes with the sentiments, and we shall use this tree die. So we'll just use the outline tree die. There we go. So I'll just ink that up and I'll pop it there. Lovely. I will clean my stamp before I make a mess. So the colours in this paper is basic black, cherry cobbler, evening evergreen, soft succulent, and very vanilla. Beautiful colour combination. I really like the colour combination. So I shall put my embossing things aside for the moment because I don't need them again. And I shall bring in my embossing machine. And I will do them one at a time because there's no worries about that. Now, I am using the magnetic platform that Stamping Up has recalled. I got mine before they recalled it. So, and mine's going fine. If you did order one, they are refunding all the money, all the orders that, if people ordered one, they're refunding you. Oops. So let me just line this up nice and even. Pretty sure that's not bad. And not move my plate on top. There we go. Line that through. So there's our tree. That's all gold and twinkly. And I love this die, this sentiment die. It's just beautiful. So I just want to make sure it's centered. So yeah, if you did order a magnetic plate, you will get a refund until they can correct it and bring it out again. But I love my plate, so I'm just using it anyway. So I do love that die. Beautiful die. Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? So let's pop the machine away. And we'll bring our die cuts back in. I'll put the dies there. So so once again, this is our card, or foldy. And I'm going to put that there and put that there, or should I put that under there? No. So I'm going to put my tree flat on my card. That's something, if you do fancy fold cards, you've got to allow for all the folds and the thickness of what you'll be posting if you're posting it to people. Fancy folds are something you sort of wouldn't make en masse, I wouldn't think. Well, I wouldn't. So I'm just going to center that on my card front and hold it down. I did this, the papers are so beautiful, it was hard to know what to choose. There we go, and I'm going to pop that across the top with some dimensionals. Now, I could, no, I don't think I'll do ribbon. So I will, the ribbon in this suite is stunning as well. So you can see with my sample cards. I've just done a long skinny greeting, but I wanted to use this die cut. So I'm just going to pop that. I want to make sure it's centered. And I might bring it down a bit. No, it's not centered, so Denise wants to pull it over. Okay. That's not centered either. I'm a bit fussy about this. That looks pretty good. Okay. Now the other thing in this suite are these beautiful festive pearls. They are actually labelled incorrectly when you get them. They say red and green adhesive back pearls. In the catalogue, they're called Festive Pearls, and the red is under the flap. So you might think, so it's cherry cobbler, soft succulent, silver and gold. So you might think you're missing a couple, but once you open the pack up, they are there. So I'm going to put a couple of gold ones on our sentiment. Beautiful. Nope, they're not even. It can't be beautiful and not even. And I might put a couple of green, they're very pale, soft succulent, on our tree. Just a couple. And maybe here. There we go. So that's our beautiful festive pearls. I might actually put one on the top of the tree. Oops. And then you've got the inside where you can add another stamped greeting if you wish, which we might do. Let's have a look. I'll put that away. There's some gorgeous little tiny trees here. Really cute. So, or should I do this one? It's so tiny it goes on our A block. And I might get my cherry cobbler. I'm always a bit careful using cherry cobbler because it can be a little bit over the top. Oh, I'll just practice here. Practice on this scrap. Yeah. But see how I've got ink on the edge? You don't want that in case it gives you the halo effect when you stamp. So I probably should have done this before I put the card all together. But let's see how we go. There we go. That might be a bit easier. That, I'm not doing any more, just in case. Okay, so we'll clean that so that we don't get into trouble. So there you go. There is your, now what did Susan call it? A vertical freestanding fancy fold. So that's a nice Christmas one, using the beautiful Christmas lights and the brightest glow sentiment set. This is a beautiful sentiment set if you don't have it, and you want a good sentiment set for Christmas. Beautiful. So there's that card that Susan created, and I've just created it with the Textured Chic suite of products, and I used the Season's Greetings here. And this one I've used the Christmas tree and heat embossed it. I really love the way it turned out. Yeah, it's a lovely bundle. So have a look at it in your catalogue and see what you think. If you'd like to order it, please use this host code for July. If you go to my blog, stampingpassion.blogspot.com, over on the right hand side there's a image that says July host code. You can click on that. It takes you straight to my online store and attaches this code, or you can go down a little bit further and there's the Stamping Up logo. You can also click on that and that takes you to my online store and attaches the host code as well. Now the other couple of things I've got to tell you is I'll just put these over here. This is my next card class, which is Saturday next week. It's the Sun Prints card class. And we're making these 4 cards. I still have a couple of places left for this class, so if you're interested, let me know. And I can cut and prepare kits for you to come along. So that's my next class. That class is $25 and we'll make these 4 cards. So that's next Saturday, the 16th of July at 1:30. If you do place an order online and it's over $50, you will get this card kit in the mail to make. I'll cut it all up, send it out to you in the mail and send you a link to a video tutorial. So that's using the Beautiful Hues of Happiness suite. And don't forget that Celebration is running this month and next month. It's a great little promotion that if you spend over $90, you get to choose something in here for free. So the hippos are $90 with free with a product order of $90. If you wanted to do a $180 order, you could also get the dies to go with the hippos. Beautiful things in here that are free with a $90 purchase, or a level 2 one, $180 purchase. Just gorgeous. These caravan dies, the tree lot dies, matches the stamp set in the mini catalogue. That one will be coming out to me next week in the mail. I've got a shipping notice. I'm looking forward to playing with that one. So as I said, if you're looking to place an order, just let me know. If you're wanting to join, we have a beautiful joining promotion where you get this gorgeous Stamping Up planner. And you can use it for business or personal use. You get 18 months worth of paperwork for the calendar side of things. You get 3 notebooks and you get sticker sheets to go with it. So I've already got mine set up and I'm using it and I'm loving it. So that's the joining promotion during Celebration. I think that's all. That's everything for my Make It Monday today. I hope everybody had a lovely weekend. Weather here on the Central Coast was beautiful on Saturday, not so beautiful on Sunday. But you can still, not beautiful weather is good crafting weather, that's what I think. So thanks for joining me today, and I shall see you on Friday for Card and a Cuppa. Bye for now.